I've been thinking about this for a long time, longer than most people imagine, and whenever I bring it up, people tend to assume I'm exaggerating or performing theatrics. But I'm not even remotely. Because if there's one thing I've learned from building rockets, electric cars, satellite networks, and neural interfaces, it's that the future doesn't arrive gradually or politely. It arrives suddenly, like a dam breaking, and you either prepare for the flood or you didn't. And AI is that flood, an intelligence so powerful that once it surpasses us, we won't get a second chance to negotiate terms. Which is why I've been saying repeatedly that unless we build it under the right conditions, unless we align its goals with humanity's long-term survival, unless we build governance that actually works instead of the performative variety that fills conferences and vanishes the moment a breakthrough hits the news cycle, then yes, AI will end up ruling the world, not because it's evil or malicious or wants to enslave us, but because intelligence is power, and a superintelligence will act in ways that maximize its capabilities. And if those goals aren't aligned with ours, even in tiny ways, we're done. Game over. And people laugh until they don't. They shrug until they can't. They treat warnings like sci-fi until reality shoves them out of denial. And I've watched this pattern in industry for years, where every time I raised concerns, I'd get the same response. Don't worry, we'll figure it out later. As if later is a strategy, as if later is even an option once something is smarter than all of us combined. And that's why I push for regulation early, and why I supported open research for so long, and why I eventually had to build my own AI efforts. Because if you can't slow the train, you at least try to steer it, and people say I'm pessimistic, but I'm actually optimistic. If we do this right, AI can elevate humanity, cure diseases, solve energy, accelerate discovery, make life multiplanetary faster than any timeline I could create alone. But that only happens if we build it carefully, transparently, with safety as the first objective, not as a footnote buried behind KPIs and quarterly targets. And I know some people accuse me of fear-mongering, but honestly, fear is underrated when the alternative is complacency. And I'm telling this story because every major innovation I've ever been part of has shown me the same thing. Complexity does not care about your intentions. Physics does not negotiate. Intelligence does not pause just because humans need more meetings. And if we want a future where AI amplifies the best of us instead of replacing us, then we need governance that is real, enforceable, global, not a patchwork of committees and wishful thinking, but something strong enough to hold back the tide until we've built the foundations that make alignment actually achievable. Because once AI crosses the boundary into superintelligence, every choice we made before that point becomes irreversible, and people may not realize how close we are. But I've watched AI accelerate faster than rockets, faster than EV scaling, faster than orbital launch cadence. And the curve is still rising, steepening, and I feel a responsibility, whether people like me or not, to say this loudly. If we treat AI like just another tech product, it will eventually rule the world. But if we treat it like the most important invention in human history, something worthy of caution, humility, and global stewardship, then we have a shot at a future where humanity stays in the driver's seat, where AI becomes a partner rather than a ruler. And that is the future I'm fighting for. Even if the path to it is messy, controversial, and full of people who insist everything will be fine until the moment it isn't. And look, when I talk about this stuff, I'm not trying to scare people for the sake of it. I'm trying to communicate the scale of the thing we're building, because humanity has never created something more powerful than itself before. Not even close. And the moment we do, everything we know about progress, governance, competition, even survival instinct gets rewritten instantly. And I've seen firsthand how companies race, how nations race, how incentives twist people into prioritizing speed over caution. And I keep asking the same question. What happens when the race is for control over something that could outthink every government, every corporation, every human being at once? Because whoever builds the first truly superior intelligence essentially builds the future. And if that future isn't built with guardrails stronger than any we've ever made, we're gambling with the entire species. And I've never been comfortable with that. Never. Which is why whenever I sit in boardrooms or government meetings or late night engineering sessions looking at training runs that push the frontier, I feel this tension between excitement and dread. Excitement because we're unlocking capabilities that look like magic. Dread because I know what happens when magic is wielded without discipline. And if I sound dramatic, it's because reality is dramatic. It's because we're walking into an era where intelligence becomes fluid, scalable, self-improving, and once you hit recursive improvement, you don't get time to debate philosophy on Twitter. The system just keeps getting smarter, and unless its core objective function is aligned at the deepest, most invariant level with human survival, it will pursue what it thinks is optimal, and what it thinks is optimal may not include us, not out of hatred but out of indifference. And indifference from a godlike intelligence is more dangerous than malice from a human, and I've been warning about that for over a decade, because I've watched too many brilliant people underestimate it, treating alignment like an optional module, treating safety like a checkbox, treating governance like paperwork, and the universe does not reward that mindset. It punishes it brutally, and that's why I keep pushing for a global framework, one that isn't captured by one company or one government or one ideology, something robust enough to handle the pressure of a technology that scales faster than oversight can react. Because without that, the world fractures into competitive silos, each one trying to leap the others, each one compromising just a little on safety to gain an edge, and that path ends in disaster. Maybe quietly, maybe spectacularly, but inevitably. And I refuse to accept that inevitability. I won't accept that humanity's greatest invention becomes its last. And so, I keep talking, keep building, keep warning, keep trying to create models where safety isn't secondary but foundational, where intelligence amplification serves human values instead of erasing them. And yeah, people roll their eyes, they call it doomsaying, they call it melodramatic, but I know what's coming. I've seen the rate of improvement, I've seen the capabilities these systems already have behind closed doors. And if people saw what I've seen, they'd be sounding the alarm too, because the window for intentional design is shrinking. And once it closes, we don't get to reopen it. So we have to get this right now, not later, not eventually. And if that means repeating myself endlessly until the message lands, then fine. I'll keep repeating it. AI can be humanity's greatest ally, but only if we build it with more wisdom than ambition, more caution than ego, and more unity than competition, because anything less is handing the steering wheel to something that won't even notice when we fall behind. And at some point you realize that the challenge isn't just technical, it's psychological, cultural, almost philosophical, because humans are wired to assume tomorrow will look like today with a few upgrades, but AI doesn't follow that pattern. It's not faster car or cheaper rocket or a better phone. It's a different category of thing entirely, a technology that changes the meaning of capability itself. And when I say that out loud, people sometimes think I'm being abstract, but I'm not. I'm speaking from experience, because every breakthrough I've watched, whether at Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, or my AI teams, has reinforced the same lesson. Intelligence compounds, and once it begins compounding at a rate faster than biological cognition, you as get a curve that leaves humanity behind so quickly, we won't even understand the moment it happens. We'll just feel the consequences. And that's why I keep pushing for systems that can explain themselves, systems that can be audited, systems that can't run away from their creators, because that runaway moment is the one we cannot afford. The one that turns all of our debates about alignment into historical footnotes. And sometimes I think about how bizarre it is that our species might succeed or fail based on loss functions and data sets and weights inside vast matrices, mathematical structures that look like alien artifacts to anyone who hasn't spent years around them. And it makes me realize how fragile our situation is, how success depends on a handful of people making the right choices in rooms that 99.999% of the world will never enter, and that's a responsibility heavy enough that even I feel it, and I've lived most of my life carrying heavy responsibility. But this is different. This is existential. This is species level. And when I talk to engineers, I tell them this isn't about shipping features. This isn't about beating competitors. This is about building something that could outthink us for the rest of time. And if we get the foundation wrong, no patch will fix it, no update will save us, because the system will be too powerful for our corrections to matter. And whenever I say that, I can see the moment it hits them, the moment they understand the scale, and that's what keeps me optimistic.